All right. So, hi, Marvin. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. For our Sierra Club members interested in Ma'iingan Monday, can you give us a little bit about yourself and a little bit of your background?
Yeah, bonjour. Bonjour. Hello. Marvin Defoe. My Shinabe name is Cinque Benes, and I live here in Musquabi Kong, Red Cliff, on the reservation in northern Wisconsin, on the southern shore of Lake Superior.
Okay, very cool. Thank you for that. Question for you. Would you be able to help us understand the cultural significance of wolf or Ma'iingan to the nation there in terms of the Ojibwe people?
The Ma'iingan is the name we call the wolf. And that Ma'iingan is kind of a place that it really does. It means it really doesn't have any borders. It just kind of goes where it lives. That's what the name means, Ma'iingan. And it seems that that's what the Ma'iingan does. You know, it kind of wanders and travels around, and culturally, the Ma'iingan to us as Anishinaabe people is our brother. That is our brother. It's a feeling like no different than your brother who may be in your house, in your family. And that's how we view and that's how we look at the Ma'iingan culturally as our brother. It has a significance in our being and who we are as Anishinaabe. In fact, it traveled through our legends and stories. It traveled in the beginning of time, walking, walking with walking with when the earth was made. When the earth was made, helping name different things on the earth, the trees, the ground, the rocks, birds. And the Ma'iingan traveled since the beginning of time with the Anishinaabe, traveled with the original inhabitants. Now, if I had, I mean, thousands and thousands of years ago. So culturally, the Ma'iingan certainly has walked with us. The Ma'iingan had played a significant role in our being and who we are as Anishinaabe.
That's cool. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And, I think another question now, understanding that significance, um, what are you, um, concerned about in terms of protection for the Ma'iingan, in terms of now and in its future with potential, the DNR's new wolf management plan, the rules, potentially the wolf becoming delisted in terms of federal protections. What are your concerns and why is it so important to protect the Ma'iingan here?
Well, that's a good word, protect. And the first thing I would do, and I has recommended, uh, getting away from a management plan. I think it should be focused. The mindset should be a protection plan instead of a management. Because I tell you, I there's no way that I would try to manage my brother. My brother wouldn't let me do it. I would maybe protect my brother. So I think part of it is the mindset and how we view the Ma'iingan. We're always trying to manage the earth, manage the forest, manage the water, manage the air, manage. So I'm really like the word protect. I'd rather say protect the Ma'iingan. Let's protect the forest. Let's protect the water. And let's protect the earth. Let's do things that protect the earth. And that's what I'm saying, protecting the Ma'iingan. And the Ma'iingan, um, I also believe the Ma'iingan has a right. a right to exist, just as well as a human being has a right to exist. And I think part of that is what I'm going to try to explain. It has to do more with universal law. Universal law, how nature coexists, how it lives, and how it interacts with each other, how things exist. I mean, humans, we're the last one on that universal law. And what I mean by that, the animals, they can exist without us. And if we don't protect and have a mindset on this universal law, other than coming from maybe a law that's coming from a state, or a law that's coming from a Congress, or a law that's coming from that comes from humans. That comes from humans. What I'm talking about is universal law that comes from nature. That comes from nature. And a lot of times the universal law versus law, it clashes. It clashes. So my wish is if they could come together and recognize the universal law, recognize that, hey, they have a right, it has a right to exist, and the Ma'iingan does have a place on this earth. The Ma'iingan does have a place within this universal law. It has a purpose, and it has a purpose. The Ma'iingan has a purpose on this land. In fact, the Ma'iingan is helping the land, helping take care of the sick animals. I mean, I revert back to the Yellowstone National Park. There's a story about the Yellowstone National Park where it was kind of getting depleted and down, and there wasn't really much life. And they introduced the Ma'iingan, the wolf, to that park, and it just kind of flourished from there. It kind of flourished because it had a place. It had a place on the landscape, to exist. And it's. I mean, even today, who's going to take care of the diseased deer? All the Ma'iingan's gonna. They're gonna take care of the landscape. So there is a place. There is a place for the Ma'iingan. And the problem isn't the Ma'iingan. The problem is us, is the human. We're part of that, and how we can educate ourselves and don't be scared. Don't be so fearful of the Ma'iingan. And I think there's ways. I think there's ways we can coexist. Coexist. You don't like something. What do? You kill them off. If you don't like something. I mean, that's an easy solution. That's an easy solution. So it's almost like, well, you don't like a group of people. Let's have a war, and let's kill them off. Well, it's kind of like the Ma'iingan. To me, it's like we're at war with the humans. We're at war with them. I mean, 2 years ago when they had a Ma'iingan hunt, a wolf hunt in the state of Wisconsin, I mean, they just devastated the Ma'iingan. In fact, they even killed pregnant Ma'iingan. That was back in February. So it really hit us pretty hard. The Anishinaabe, it hit right to our soul, that this devastation, this declaration of war, on the Ma'iingan. I mean, we're taught culturally. We're taught if you're going to kill something, you got to eat it. If you're going to kill a partridge, you eat it. And the ceremonies we do, even for that first kill. I mean, I don't know of anybody who ate a Ma'iingan. What's the purpose of that? So it's two different. It's different values different values that we're looking at, and the ones who are affected by the different values is the Ma'iingan.
Yeah. Well said. Well said. In terms of the traditional ecological knowledge and the Anishinaabes' views and willingness to coexist, do you have any thoughts on how we go from here in the future to do that? How can we, is there any ways that we could live better together?
Yeah. Well, it's one thing too, and that cultural knowledge too. What I didn't mention is that the um, what happens to the Ma'iingan happens to the Anishinaabe. So it's like what happens to the is happening to us, and that's why culturally we're so emotional and try to protect that, because what happens to the Ma'iingan. But I think it goes beyond that. I think it goes beyond that, because one of our teachings with the Ma'iingan, it helps turn the world. It kind of helps turn the world. The Ma'iingan does, and I think the the Ma'iingan is trying to tell us something. And we have a word, we say "gawin" and this and that means it ain't for nothing. And the Ma'iingan right now is telling us something. It's howling. Its voice is talking, trying to tell us something. It's up to us to listen. Up to listen. That Ma'iingan is saying the world is changing. The world is changing. Things are happening. The world is to get ready. Get ready and protect not just protect the Ma'iingan, but there's something happening to this earth, and the Ma'iingan is howling out, telling us telling us, hey, there's something happening to this earth, and the thing we gotta listen, and that's where that universal law comes in, that universal way of doing things. How certain things within that universal law that we need to exist: water, air, land, be able to breathe, you know. And the Mingan is telling us something. And it's how we react to that. How we react to that is a challenge. How
Yeah.
we react to those changes and what's taking place is the challenge. And right now, right now, I don't think we're meeting the challenge. I don't think we're meeting the challenge. I'm talking about climate change.
Yeah.
Climate change, about pollution, about uh, you know, when the Ma'iingan walked this earth 1,000 years ago, it was a different earth that the Ma'iingan walked, that the wolf walked on, and the Ma'iingan it didn't go anywhere.
Mhm.
Existed somewhere or another, somehow existed for for 1,000 years. That pathway, that pathway that the Ma'iingan is walking on now is different. The pathway is different. The Ma'iingan and the Ma'iingan certainly is affected just as well as we're affected by things too. Um, does I just wonder, did the Ma'iingan ever get COVID? you know, I don't know. I
Yeah.
know, I know the deer.
Did.
The deer certainly evidence that the deer got COVID.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is that it's a vessel. To us as Shinabe, it's a vessel. It's almost like a canary.
Yeah.
If you ever heard of a canary effect, well, the Ma'iingan is telling us something,
It's a
and
signal.
it's up to us. It's up to us to pay heed, to pay attention to it. And for those of us, people who believe in universal law or believe in it's worth protecting something, those are the voices. Those are the voices you're going to hear And those voices that you're going to hear from the humans is directly from the voice from the Ma'iingan.
Yeah, no, beautifully said. And you're right. They are facing new changes, and as we all are. And it's important to recognize that.
Right.
So, well, I've heard it described many times as fates intertwined. And so I appreciate you touching on that, and really also elaborating on the universal law and sort of the rights of nature to exist. I think
Yeah.
that's really powerful, and helps us understand more the significance that Ma'iingan provide to us today. That's so important for us to take heed in what they're telling us. So, well, with that, I will say thank you so much for your time, and appreciate it very, very much, Marvin.
Well, you're welcome. I'm looking forward for the Wolf Ma'iingan Awareness Week, Wolf Awareness Week.